Back here doing this video. Pretty much I'm going to be talking about wide angle lenses. Recently I wanted to acquire one for my camera. I was looking for one, so I did quite a bit of research before I invested my money in the next few that I'm going to talk about. I tried out 4 different wide angle lenses, and first one I tried out was the Canon 1740. That one there was, I tried it on a crop sensor and a full frame. On a crop sensor, it actually did pretty. It's a nice solid lens for a crop sensor, but when I tried it on a full frame sensor camera, it was a totally different story. I was quite disappointed on a full frame camera. I'm gonna go through the pros and the cons. The pros was that it was lightweight, definitely good lightweight. It was very good build quality. Not the best, but it was good build quality. It is weather sealed, almost totally, but except for the front. So the build quality was excellent. The price was really good for a L series lens. Definitely, you could pick that up in the aftermarket. Probably used for around 650, 600, give or take. And that's pretty much it on the pros. The cons were the corners were extremely soft. It was the softest one out of the 4 that I've tested. I'm going to mention to you later. But the corners are extremely sharp. Extremely soft. It had quite a bit of CA, and the overall sharpness wasn't all that great either. It was okay. Probably the softest one overall sharpness compared to the next 4 that I'll be mentioning later. Also, one bad thing I have to mention, that it was kind of a slow lens at 4 f-stop at 4. And that's pretty much it. Overall, I would give that lens a rating out of 1 to 10. I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's a okay lens. It does pretty good on the crop, but not too good on a full frame. Anyways, my second lens that I did try was the Tokina 1628. I read a lot of reviews on that, and that lens was supposed to be a really good lens. From what I've read, it's supposedly on par with the Nikkor 1424, which is supposed to be the cream of the crops for wide angle. But when I got it, I actually tried 2 copies. My first copy, I wasn't too impressed with this, so I actually exchanged it. I thought I had a defective copy, so I got another copy, and it was actually it was a little bit of a disappointment, at least from what I've read. Some pros: the build quality was one of the best one that I've used on any lens, actually. The build quality was extremely good, extremely good. The feel of it, it just feels really good. I can't speak enough on build quality. That's definitely number 1. Focus ring was absolutely very smooth and very accurate. I love the manual focus ring on it. Distortion was good also on that lens. It was probably the best one out of the 4 that I'm going to mention later. Some cons on it. It was heavy. It was big. It's a big and heavy lens. It's a lot of bulk. It weighs around 950 grams or a little more than that. It's a pretty hefty lens. Quite big, quite large. The picture was actually a little bit darker than the other 4. Probably like by half a stop to a stop darker on the same shutter speed, same ISO, everything. Shot at the same conditions. And it was always a little bit darker, the pictures. And the corner sharpness wasn't all that great. A little bit sharper than actually quite a bit sharper than the 1740, but it still wasn't up to my standards. And also another hit The focus, the AF on it wasn't all that accurate. It was give or take. It was a little bit off here and there. It wasn't always accurate. So that's another ding. That's from 1 to 10 on the Tokina 16-28. I would have to give it a 7 out of 10. Of course, price considering it's a fair price lens. My third lens that I've tried was the Canon 16-35-2 2.8, and that's the second version. Some pros. Corner sharpness was very, very good. One of the better ones. The colors were great. Excellent color, probably the best color out of the bunch, at least in my opinion. Build quality was very good. Not as good as your Tokina 16-28, but it's up there. It's very, very good build quality. Focus ring is absolutely smooth. Some cons on it is overall sharpness of the lens was it was so-so. It wasn't as sharp as a Tokina 16-28, but it was a little bit sharper than the Canon 1740. It was a little bit sharper, but just wasn't, the pictures weren't popping really. CA, I definitely have to ding it on that. It shows a lot of CA on that lens. Most Canons that I've experienced with does show a lot of CA, so I'm not surprised with that. And it is quite an expensive lens. At least in my opinion, I don't think it's worth the price for the quality that you get. Yeah, 1 out of 10. I would definitely give that. Price considering stuff, probably on par with the Tokina, a 7 out of 10. Last but not least is the box you see right here. This is the last one I tried out. It was a Samyang 14mm. This is actually the newer version, the USM version, the newest version. They had an older version that came out, I believe, sometimes last year, but this is the new ones that they came out with. And I am totally impressed with this lens. Very, very impressed. Read a lot of reviews in it. A lot of people said very, very good things about it. They actually compared it to the Nikkor 14-24, and they also compared it to the Canon Top Dog, the 14mm fixed too. I'm gonna talk about this lens now. Some pros it has. It's absolutely brighter than all the other lenses that I've tried. The Canon 1740, Tokina 16-28, Canon 16-35-2. It's brighter as shot at the same aperture, ISO, everything same condition. Pictures were always a tad brighter. So you actually could lower your ISO a little bit, and helps lower your picture quality and so on. And so it's definitely brighter. It's very light and very compact. Very, very light, and just it's small lens. It's very small. The price is absolutely crazy. This one you could pick up for like $380 brand new, easily $380 anywhere. Used probably fine for like around $300, low $300, $320 around there. Corners are just perfect. They are the sharpest corner out of the bunch. Extremely sharp corners on a full frame lens, extremely sharp. Just perfect almost. Sharpness, overall image sharpness was just perfect. It's the sharpest out of the bunch, definitely. CA on this lens is absolutely also, again, very surprisingly perfect. The CA on this lens was probably the least amount that I've seen on any lens up to date. You know, I haven't tried it all, all the lenses, but this so far, it shows very, very little CA. It's very, very impressive. Some cons that it has, definitely does have some. One of the main issue it has is bad distortion. The distortion is really, really bad, and it is a mustache distortion, which is very hard to fix. I did invest in this software called PT Lens. Costs $25, and it has a built-in I forgot what it's called. Well, anyways, they have a built-in profile for this lens, inside their inside the software. So pretty much it's like a 2-second fix, and actually corrects the distortion. So it's absolutely perfect. There's also other softwares out there, but PT Lens was the cheapest one, so I picked it up, and it read reviews on it. It works great. So far, I've tried on my pictures, and it works absolutely great. Gets rid of almost all the distortion. Build quality was okay, and not the best. I mean, you're paying, you know, $300 something for it, so I wasn't expecting, you know, the best quality in the world. But actually, for the prices, that is good. But compared to the others, it doesn't stand up to it. There's no autofocus, so that might be a big ding for a lot of people. Definitely, I wouldn't get a lens that doesn't have autofocus except for a wide angle. So this one actually works out for me. For wide angles. So no AF, and vignetting, it's probably the worst out of the bunch, which means dark, you know, when it gets dark in the corners. At 2.8, you definitely see it. It's quite bad. At around 5.6, it gets a lot better. 5.6 and up, which gets a lot better. That's an easy fix also, so that's not really my concern. I just thought it was worth mentioning. But 1 out of 10, I definitely give this one probably like a 9 out of 10, if not a 10 out of 10. It's absolutely a stunning lens. It's if you guys are looking for a wide angle, don't need autofocus, and you know, and invest in a software, it costs $25. You know, I mean, even this lens, $375 with that software, $25. It comes up to $400. That's the cheapest. You know, on the bunch. Definitely way cheaper than all other ones. So this right here, guys, I am totally impressed with it. Absolutely the best out of the bunch, in my opinion. It works for me, and I highly recommend the Samyang 14mm, the USN version though, which is the newer version. That's pretty much concludes my I guess showdown between wide angle lenses, the four. So anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay sharp.